Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's topic is going to be day 2 of Lens and Light Summit in Mystic, Connecticut, February 2026. So stay tuned. I already did a recap of day 1. Now we're going to talk about day 2, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Wow, what a crazy, check that out, I got the credentials inside of there, block the face. What a crazy whirlwind of events in the best way possible. It is crazy the amount of information that they packed into one day. When I use the word packed, I don't mean like overwhelmed, throw things together. I'm talking about precision, precise, scheduled information and workshops all the way throughout the day. So it is crazy. So I'm in front of the game phrase of what we're doing because it's retro, it's 80s, it's got that feel of, for tomorrow night, they're gonna be doing a whole big night of games. We've got games all the way through over here. So I did a lot of BTS, so you're gonna see that going up on both sides and stuff like that. Clue, Perfection, Candyland, any game you wanna play. They got the Wii behind me. I did not see a PlayStation or any of the Xbox like that, but because we want people to be with people. So with that being said, wow, day 2. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Got up at 6, went down to breakfast about 7:30-ish. Got down over here, and I got here early because I wanted to help set up the games and set everything else like that, and just help Chris and Jen out with whatever they needed to get done, an extra pair of hands kind of thing like that. So I ended up sitting down, putting my stuff down over there. There was a keynote speaker, which we're going to talk about in just a second. But when you buy a ticket to the summit, your breakfast and lunch is included. So you get meals during the day, and then you eat wherever you want to eat after that. We're going to talk about later on tonight the dinner with the speakers. So much stuff. So let's just start with the top. Breakfast, excellent. Sat down, keynote, there was an opening. And today was the first opening day for Jen and Chris to get up there and do their spiel. Thanking everybody for coming. The snowstorm threw a wrench into everything, but they pulled it together with their team of people all around the Lens and Light team, pulled it all together. They just pulled it all together. They do their opening, intros, everything else like that. Chris Knight, I'm gonna put his information down below. Next level. I feel like the topic and the theme for me in the 3 days that I've been here, because I came in on Sunday night, was next level. That's all I kept hearing was next level. This conference, next level. You come to this, you're on your way to the next level, only if you apply the information. So with that being said, Chris Knight, information's down below. His inspirations come from like painting and sculptures and things like that. His work is out of this world. It is next level portraiture, pictures, images, ads, magazines, and all this different stuff like that. It's like you're sitting down watching somebody go through their process of how they get from concept to finished product of delivery. And Chris did an absolutely excellent job just talking about all the fundamentals of things that he does and he did and the things that he plans on doing. And then he opened it up to questions and things like that. But it was excellent. There's so much stuff. The video can only be so long, so I have to move on to that. But it was just absolutely excellent. From there, we did a picture of the whole entire attendees that came. So we had 3 levels of chairs and platforms stood on top of that. This guy, Joel, shout out Joel, AKA Hopper from Stranger Things, doppelganger, I'm just telling you. Crazy, just got everybody cheering and roaring and stuff like that. We got all the pictures we needed. Then they did the staff, we're sitting down eating. All of a sudden I look at my watch and I was like, oh my God, our next class starts at 11 o'clock. So actually, the next thing after that was going to where all of the vendors were going to be setting up. So after the keynote speaker, we broke for vendor time. You go around each one of the vendors. Nikon is in there, Tamron's in there, Canon's in there, Nanlite's in there. And I'm going to try and do my best to put as many of the sponsors down in the description below because they were key. It's hard to pull this off without having sponsors and things like that. Milford Video was in there also. Sigma didn't make it, but their booth was here. They had lighting stations, setting up big soft boxes with nan lights in there, constant light inside of there. Then they had another booth with Samantha at for constant lights and strobes, and they had triggers for every person that had a different system, whatever system you had, Canon, Nikon, Sony. They had a different trigger for each one of them. So that was kind of cool to kind of throw a trigger on and just play. They had models that were there, nice big husky dude with, you know, black jacket on, black cowboy hat. Really, really cool. I'm going to be showing those images over here. Same thing with being, they had another model over on one of the chairs with the nan lights over there. So I played around with a couple of pictures over there. And I only brought my, 50 with me, but I only used my 35, which means I was going in a little bit further than I wanted to because I didn't want to see all of the scene. But it worked out better because it was able to kind of like move around and just play with constant lights and things like that. And it's a whole nother animal when it comes to that. So anyways, the break was great. All of a sudden, 11 o'clock rolls around, and it was time to go see Jeff Tisman. I'll link his information down below. Jeff Tisman, I called him aside and I was like, hey, I was here at Lens and Light last year. I didn't come to your class. He goes, well, you missed out. I was like, I know I did, but jokingly. 2 classes at the same time. You have to pick one or the other. And last year I picked the class that I was the weakest in so I can get more knowledge about. His class was about composites and things like that. The other class I was looking for had a little bit more of where my weaknesses were, so I wanted to strengthen that. And I said, you know what? I am not missing it this year. So as soon as his class opened up, which was not even a master class, this was just part of the class that was in here, and it was absolutely amazing, mind-blowing. He started off right off the bat with getting everybody up, middle of the floor. He had a model of a bride and groom come in, pick them up, and crowd surf them in the middle of the conference room. And he's got this camera boomed up over the top-down shot of this bride and groom being crowd surfed by all of the attendees holding her up. Absolutely epic. If I get a chance to get that shot from him, I'm going to put it in right here just to show you what it is. Just next level. Next level. Just crazy, crazy stuff. So then he went outside and we went out into the lobby. We did some more fun, which is called his Blur Kiss images and stuff like that. Gave it to settings. We practiced with that. He didn't, what I liked about it, it wasn't just like, hey, here's what I did. Here's my settings and class is over. It was like, get up. And he's like, no, seriously, get up. Go do what I just told you to do. And we're all like, oh yeah, it's kind of funny. And he's like, get up. He goes, muscle memory. I'm going to show you it. I want you to go and do it. And if you don't get it right, you keep doing it until you get it right. And you're probably going to get it wrong. But what did you learn when you got it wrong? It was crazy. Hands-on. It was like, pick up your camera, go take the pictures kind of mentality like that. But I'm going to link his information down below. Go see the work. I love emotion in an image. When you see his work, you see emotion and energy. There is just energy all about this guy. 30 years in the business, over 1,200 weddings under his belt. Used to photograph for Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses. We had a nice little conversation because I photographed Luke Bryan when he first came out, Hootie and the Blowfish. So we had these stories about backstage. And then we started talking about he photographed Bret Michaels in Poison. I photographed Bret Michaels when it was just Bret Michaels. And we talked about the energy that guy brings to the table and everything else like that. So it was just excellent. My friend Nathan was sitting down with me from VSP and he walked in, he goes, so what's, he picked the class also. I was like, all I'm going to say, next level. And by the time the class was done, he was like, wow, Ron, you were right. So, all right, Jeff Tisman, information below, just crazy, crazy good. All right, and then we had the community photo. which I think I already talked about. We did lunch after that, so we came back at lunch, did lunch inside of here. Great lunch was served for everybody who had that. My next step was you can sign up for all of these speakers that are here. You also get them in classes, but you also get them to critique your portfolios. So portfolio reviews by each one of them, and each one of them there, and then you have 15 minutes with each one to be able to pick your name with a group of 3 and sit down with them. And they pull up your website, they pull up your social media, and they're not harsh about what they say, but they're like, hey, you're missing this, and you're missing this, and you might want to think about this, and it's great. Last but not least, I sat down, I was late because I had to come back from lunch. I was late to sit down with John Branch IV. If you don't know who he is, his information is going to be down below. Somebody else didn't make it to the event, so their spot got left open, so I took that same spot, and we just talked for a half an hour about work and life and kids and everything else like that. But we went through the website and stuff like that, went through the social medias and stuff like that, and it was just excellent. Was really honest with what he saw and was really honest with what he would like to see. Meaning, I was missing a few key components that he felt would make my website look better. That's all I'm going to say. Stay tuned. The advice he gave me was just very genuine, and he wanted me to come from a point in my life that was very relatable, and then be able to bring that to my weddings, and just wait. Just watch my work, watch. Let's see if I can pull it off. All right, so we did the portfolio review, and then Susan Stripling. What a class act. Elegance, lighting, it is absolutely the most, you look at the work and and she's right in the middle of New York City. It's like, she's getting Ubers to places, and she's in alleys and things like that, and right in the middle of New York City. She travels all over the world, and she was just another free class, a part of the class that was part of the whole thing. And it wasn't even like a master class, paid for master class. It was just another class that was part of it. And it was like, thank you, Chris and Jen, for having all of these speakers, because we get in there. I got in there 10 minutes late. My mind was like buzzing from John Branch IV to Tisman and all this other stuff like this. I actually didn't even take any notes from Susan class because I couldn't write and look fast enough. I decided to just put the pen down and just watch, just absorb. We're going to go watch them back and watch the replays another time, but it was I just needed to just disconnect from writing something down and just be engulfed in what she was saying. It was the images, the before and afters were like, we thought she was like, that's not the same place. And then she showed us the after and then the before. It's like, where in the world did you come up with the concept of that? The idea of that? How did you see that in this? How did you see that vision of that final beautiful image out of the alleyway where just crazy, just absolutely beautiful work, sweet, genuine, nice person, just class act, just a class act individual. All right. Later on in the night from 6:30 on, you can go to dinner with each one of the speakers. So the speakers, Jason Vincent was here. I can't even go through all the list of all the speakers right now because there was like a whole ton of them. So 2 speakers at a time would take 5 or 6 other guests with them. I think up to 6, and they would go to one of the local restaurants. So they're trying to bring money to the economy and bring money, but we had a big snowstorm here, so some of the restaurants were still closed. So there was a little bit of a dilemma and a hiccup with that, but it all worked out. So Kate Fletcher was here also, and all these different people, and you get to go have dinner with them. So somebody was saying, hey, who are you going to go to dinner with? I said, I'll be honest with you. I said, I've been here since Sunday night. I said, I've already had like 2 dinners with Jeff Tisman and Jason and Ben Lau. Information down below. That's all I got to say about him for right now, because I haven't seen his class yet. But just the genuine conversations with each and every one of these people. I've been eating lunch and breakfast with these people for the past 2 days. And dinner time and nighttime, the first night we had pizza with all these people, and it was just conversations. There is something about conversations with people that you really get to see the genuineness of people's hearts when you talk about that. It was just absolutely excellent. So I decided not to do that. I went over to the Helmsman over at the that's attached to the hotel and ended up having dinner over there. I'm speaking on Thursday night at my church, so I was putting all of my notes together to get ready for that. Trying to write all my notes down from what John Branch said to me, and then all of a sudden, so now what is it? What even time? It's 7:30 right now. 7:30 right now. I have a networking night in the lobby at 8:30, 9 o'clock or something like that. I needed to get all of my notes done. I needed day 2 recorded before I even go any further into anything else, because I needed to get this done and in the books and get it on the Osmo Pocket 3 and get it recorded and just have it there so that I was able to focus and things like that. So I'm going back to my room. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to put my feet up for a little while. Coming back at 9 o'clock, and it's just another networking night with all of these amazing, I'm going to say this, speakers and attendees. The attendees, let me talk about the attendees. I had a couple of people say, when I asked them to come to Lens and Light and be, here's all the information if you want to go, kind of thing like that. Yeah, I'm not really thinking like the speakers are all that great. And I was like, look around, I was like, are you serious? Did you not see the list of people? I want to talk about the attendees. These people came from all over: New York, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Connecticut. There's a couple people from Massachusetts, Worcester. I'm from Springfield, Holyoke area, East Hampton, and all over the place. All of these attendees are absolutely class act people. They are so nice. They are so genuine. They are so willing to give you the shirt off their back. And they're like a sponge when they come in, because they're like, who can we learn from? Who can we gravitate from? Who can we gravitate to? And you can look at it in 2 ways. There's not an awestruck about, oh my God, check this out. But there is a healthy respect for, especially John Branch IV, who has a really promising, YouTube channel, just like Jason Vincent and things like that travel all over the world, WPPI and good stuff. They're like so down to earth. It's like there's no pedestal that they're on or anything like that, and they're just so genuine about everything that they're doing. It was so good. The attendees in this place are just like, there is no haughtiness about any one of these people. I'm so sick of talking to people who have a nose in the air and a haughtiness about their work. This event is just absolutely amazing with the attendees, the speakers, and Jen and Chris. And I feel like because Jen and Chris do what they do, everything that flows out of them just radiates genuineness. Community over competition. They radiate that whole mentality about everything. So Jen, Chris, thank you again for just having this, doing this. You took this project on. This is the first time in 3 years we've ran into weather that was a hindrance. But I was talking to Chris this afternoon, and I was like, how do you feel? He goes, I'm better now. We're in the zone now. We're past all the bumps we had to deal with. We're in the zone now. We're on cruise control, and everything's falling right into place with everything on the schedule. So tomorrow we've got another speaker. Tomorrow we've got breakfast tomorrow. We've got more shooting inside of the vendor tables that are going to be over there. We have 2 more speakers that are going to be doing, and then another portfolio. I'm probably going to do it before the gala event that we have at the end of the night, which is going to be 80s retro themed night. Come with your Nickelodeon shirts and come with your, cartoons and things like that, and come with all of those things that are retro to you, and just have fun with it. They're going to be setting up stations. Pat's going to be here from Alberti Entertainment, so it's going to be like ridiculously great night. So I don't know when I'm going to record day 3, because I want to be here doing this, and I want to I don't think I'm going to have the voice and the energy to do it on after it, so I might end up doing it before. But anyways, day 2 recap in the books, absolutely amazing. next level. So thank you guys for coming back to the channel. Everything I talked about for Lens and Light is going to be down below. The speakers, I'll try and put as many of those down below. The people that have YouTube channels, I'll probably try and put that down below. I'll try and put as much information down below because next year, 2027, I already felt like 25 was like, oh my God, it was amazing. I got to 26, I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. I can't wait to 2027, and this event at 2026 is not even over yet. It's not even over yet. So thank you everyone for coming back to the channel. Remember to hit that like button, the subscribe button. All my information is going to be down below about all the things that I'm talking about inside of here. Also, leave your comments down below. If you came to Lens and Light, what was your experience? If you want to come and Lens and Light next year, let me know. I got a referral code for you. So thank you guys for coming back to the channel. Remember to smile more because it sure does hurt less. Peace.